So you've got a loan and you want to do escrow and you're not sure how to set the escrow up. So what we're going to do here in Moneylender, we've got our loan created. We're going to go over to the settings tab and then click on escrow account. Now here in escrow account we have manage disbursements, and that's where we record when we expect to pay, for example, property taxes. So if we set our property taxes are probably going to be due, let's say November 15th, and it's an estimated amount. Let's mark this as 2021. At the time of recording, this would be next year. It's for property taxes. We could put other information in here, but we don't need to. We marked that it happens annually, so we don't have to keep recreating these records. Moneylender will do that for us. Now it knows we expect to spend $8,500 on November 15th. We'll add another estimated disbursement of, let's say, $1,250. Let's call it July 10th of 2021. And this is going to be for our property insurance. And this also gets paid once a year. So there's our insurance premium, and there's our property taxes that we expect to be paying. Now Moneylender knows when the money is going to come out of the escrow account. So at this point, we could actually just hop right into the adjustment calculator. It says, well, we've got a balance of 0. If we're starting on January 1st of 2021, we know we're paying out $9,750 in total. And we want there to be approximately 2 months of buffer in the account, or $1,600. Because these expenses are later in the year, this number is going to be pretty reasonable, the $1,034. And that will set us up so that by this time next year, we'll have 2 months, that's $1,600, in the escrow account as a buffer. So we could choose this 1034, or if they send us a check of $2437.50 to cover the fact that we're starting with 0 instead of starting with some kind of buffer in the account already. They could make a deposit and then they just send in $812.50. Or if they don't make a deposit, then we can split this across the 12 payments over the course of the year, and that comes out to $1,015. And you can see it's really close to this $1,034. And the only reason these aren't the same is that this needs this amount to be in the account by November when the big expense hits. Whereas this doesn't need that amount to be in the account until the very end of the year. So giving the borrower the benefit of the doubt, let's go with this 1015. We choose set. Now the escrow charge has been set on the loan. If we wanted to send a escrow analysis letter, we can click the printer button. And now we see the escrow analysis letter. Our new regular payment includes this escrow amount here. We could, in theory, we could just send that to our borrower directly or print it out and mail it to them if we wanted to. So at this point, we have our charge set up for beginning on January 1st. It's going to add $1,000 to the amount due with every due date up through the end of 2021. And if we look, we can see the regular payment here is $29.15, and Moneylender wants $39.31 to include that escrow amount. So let's say it's a year from now. We come back, right? Let's pretend that the future is happening. So in July, we paid this amount. So we come in and edit this disbursement and mark it as paid. And that automatically creates a copy for the next year that says we're going to pay our property insurance again in 2022 for roughly that same amount. Let's say our property tax bill came in a little bit below this. It was actually $84.15. Then we mark that as paid and save. And now it's copied that number to the year 2022. So at this point, Moneylender knows, yes, we paid these funds out of the escrow account. And then we are expecting to pay similar amounts at roughly the same times next year. So our current balance is negative because we haven't actually collected any payments. So let's go ahead and pretend that a year of payments just came in. Probably the easiest way to do that is to go to generate payment history, starting on 1/1/2021 through 12/1/2021. I think this will work. Let's find out. Oh, it does. Okay. I wasn't sure if that would include escrow or not, but it does, which is perfect. So here we can see in 2022, the amount due drops back to the regular amount because at the end of the year, we come back to each loan and we adjust their escrow account. We can see that that adjustment that we created only lasts through the 2021 calendar year. Now you can adjust it at any point during the year. You can adjust it more often if you want to. I don't believe there's anything in the law that says you can't adjust it more often, but the law does stipulate that when doing this analysis, you do it for a 12-month period of time to determine how much is the appropriate amount of escrow to charge. So generally once a year, you'll come in and update your escrow charges. So we have, we know that they've made their payments all the way through 2021. We can see there's a balance in the escrow account at this point, which looks really good. We know that we expect to be paying our disbursements again in 2022, so Moneylender knows when and how much the money is expected to come out of the escrow account. So now we can go back to our adjustment calculator and let's pretend it's a year in the future. So now for January of 2022, it looks like we have a starting balance of 22 instead of 0 this time. We're going to be spending $96.65. We want the minimum balance, so basically the balance in November when the big bill hits, we want the remaining balance to be $1610.83. So that means the escrow charge should be $795, and that's expected because the first year we were building up that kind of buffer of 2 months, but now that we have that buffer, we only need them to cover roughly what the costs are, and that buffer is just going to sit in the account. We don't need to collect it or disperse it after this. So we can choose this as the charge for 2022. If we wanted to, we could send out our escrow analysis letter showing, hey, beginning on this date, this is your new regular payment amount. And then we're pretty much all set until the end of, we can see here's for 2021 and then 2022. So then we're all set until the end of 2022. And that's how you manage escrow in Moneylender Professional. If you wanted to see the payments getting distributed to the escrow account, when you run the payment distribution report, we can see that starting here where the escrow kicks in, we can see these funds are getting earmarked as escrow. And then if we wanted to see the activity on the escrow account itself directly, we can run the ledger transactions report and change show account to escrow. And now we see the collection from each individual payment. Here we're paying the insurance premium. Some more money is being collected. Here we pay the property taxes. And at the end of the year, we see that we've collected exactly what the anticipated 2-month buffer is supposed to have been. And just for fun, let's add one more year worth of payments onto the loan, starting in 2022 until the end of 2022, pay the regular amount. So now they paid, it's like 200 less, which makes sense. We're no longer filling up the escrow account. And now if we look at the ledger transactions for the escrow account, we see that this money is coming in and slowly filling the escrow account up. If we then go and, assuming time has passed, we go to our disbursements and we say, hey, it's July and we just paid the property taxes, or the property insurance. That one was $13.50 because the insurance went up. So we save that. It copies another one forward for next year. Do the same thing. The property taxes were $86.25 this year. Ooh. Did I not save? $86.25. Oh, I must not have marked it paid. There we go. Okay. And now we see that it's marked as paid out of the escrow account. And so now we're down to a $2,096 for the escrow balance at the end of 2022. And if we want to verify that number, we can go to our ledger transactions report and look at the escrow account directly, and we'll see that here we are at the end of December of 2022. We have 2,096 in the account. So we see the balance comes down a little bit from this 2,500 to the 2,000. And now if we went to do the escrow account one more time to make the adjustments for, 1/1/2023. Nope, that's not a thing. There we go. Let's type that correctly. So now it knows the starting balance is 2096. And so instead of the 700 number, it's 867 to offset the few $100 shortfall from that minimum balance. We want to just increase the amount. So it's kind of a floating number. It's not mission critical that it's accurate to the penny. It's really just as long as you're pretty close and you're accounting for it all, then the borrower will get their money back at the end of the loan. You'll refund whatever's still in the escrow account. So if we were to then go and close loan, and we look, the first thing it says is, hey, the escrow has $2,000 in it. Are we going to issue a refund from the escrow account to the borrower, or are we going to apply the escrow balance with the borrower's permission to the outstanding loan balance? So Moneylender will make sure that you deal with the escrow account at the time that the loan is officially reached its conclusion. So thanks for watching. Have a good one.